Hello, everyone. Oh, yes. We'll get there one day. We'll manage to be in sync when we get to episode 24, season 9.
Yeah, okay.
How are you doing?
I am awesome. Hey, look, I want to show you. Oh, wait. I love your apron.
It was a birthday present from a dear friend, Hannah Wright. She thought it was a very appropriate apron for our new show, so I am wearing it with pride.
And it does look wonderful. I felt a little left out that I didn't have one, so I quickly made one. I think you're really gonna like it. Yeah, let me just.
Wow, was it expensive?
It was very expensive. It says cooking up. I made a little mistake here. Don't hate. I just crossed it out. Cooking up motivation with Theresa and Chirag.
See? I love it.
So I'll just wear this. What?
Work with what you have.
That's all I can do, Chirag. That is all I can do.
And maybe we can beg for donations so that when we get to series 5 or series 2, we'll have more money to maybe be a bit more upscale.
Yes, when the BBC takes us over, they'll give us money for that. Yeah.
Yeah, BBC, watch this space because this is a show like no other.
It is. Watch. We have stuff like that.
Well, wait. We're missing someone. We have a surprise guest on today's show. Any clues, any ideas?
Not at all. I'm very excited though.
Me too. This person is super, super amazing, not just as an animal trainer, but as a human being. One of the nicest people I've met and one of the most skilled trainers. This person is definitely someone I rate on my trainer list, top trainers list.
Okay, so skill in training, are we talking human animal or non-human animals?
I would say both. Skill with people and skill with animals.
And does he have, is it a he?
Oh, yes, he.
Okay. Yes. And does he work with water animals?
Oh, well, yes.
Yes. Land animals?
Yes.
Flying animals?
Definitely.
Ooh, okay.
Shall I introduce this person? I have a cool video clip that I took off his YouTube channel, and it just blows your mind and just makes you go, wow, when you watch this. Get ready for it. Welcome, Mike Simmons, everybody. How
Thanks
you
for
doing,
having us
Mike?
on. I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Very, very good. Thank you for joining us. And that video is amazing.
That's quite old, isn't it? I think that's from maybe about 10 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was about 10 years ago, and I saw it on your YouTube channel. I watched it and I was like, it just, for me, the trust and the relationship with another animal, often an animal that people might say is hard to read, they lack emotions. You can see there's so much emotion, so much relationship, so much bond and joy there. It's amazing to see that trust. And I think it would be great to talk about that later today, about how you go about building this trust and developing these bonds.
And I've had a haircut since as well. Did you see the state of me in the video?
Thought you looked beautiful, Mike. What did you make of it, Theresa?
You know, to hear, or to, sorry, I hear an echo, to see somebody working without even the typical gloving that goes with birds of prey, to have that much trust between the two of you with, you know, basically razors in front of you was spectacular, right? So I almost couldn't get over that, let alone going into the actual training of it. It was spectacular. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just, I'd love to, I think we should definitely take a deeper look into how you got there and learn more about that. Before we do that, let's maybe take a look and say hi to anyone joining us today, and see where everyone's joining from, find out a little bit about them. So what we have is, if you're joining and you can see our live feed, then we've got a little activity that we could do together to get to know each other. So I'm going to see if technology is going to be our friend today and we can make this work. So what I'd like everyone to do is, if you can use a different device or open a different tab from the one you're watching us on so you don't lose us. And so go to www.menti.com. So use your phones or anything you like and just hit that website. Once you're there, it's going to ask you for a code.
And if you can't understand his accent, for those of you who are in the US, it was Menti, M-E-N-T-I, correct?
That is correct. So we even do translations on this show. BBC, eat your heart out. So once you're on the website, it'll ask you for a code. The code is 9245831. It's on the screen on our Facebook live feed. If you hit submit, it will allow you to enter your name and where you're logging in from. So, for example, I can write Chirag from the UK. And hopefully it should appear on our screen in a moment. There we go. So hopefully,
and that code was, again,
9245831. Maybe I'm the only one watching.
So I don't think they want to lose us, right? They're afraid to go to a different thing.
We have people watching. I can see we've got people on a screen watching us. Yeah, maybe they don't want to lose the screen, or technology is not playing. We can give them a moment and let people have a chance to maybe see if you can hit menti.com and type in, there we go, Liz from Maine, United States, reinforced our behavior of doing this. Thank you, Liz. Otherwise, I'm here all like going, oh my God, no one is there. We're just by ourselves.
Which we're fine with. We do that all the time. I don't want to listen to us. You want to get together and talk?
Someone is
asking, Joey.
Hi, Joey. Someone's asking what the code is again. It's 9245831.
Slowly, for those of us who are fat-fingered, 92. Not that slowly. I couldn't remember the other numbers. 92.
9245831.
Perfect.
Hi, Tracy.
And while you're doing that, if anybody wants to preheat their oven now,
Oh, good idea.
425.
Okay. And it's saying we've lost connection to Facebook. Your beautiful destination was reconnected. Okay, there we go. We're all connected again. That could be a reason why we were having some problems. Ah, yes. Okay, there we go. We're all connected now.
We are all connected.
There we go. Sorry, guys. There was a little issue. We'd lost connection on Facebook page. And so now we're all connected and we're seeing a few more people pop up. So hi, Sarah and George from the UK. Oh, we're going to meet George in a little while. Do you know George, Mike?
I do, very well.
Hi, Karen from Netherlands.
Where's Tracy from, Chirag?
Oh, Tracy, where are you from? You might have to type it into the chat box. I'm just going to check. On the Facebook, someone's asked, what should I be checking on the Menti screen? On Menti, you should be seeing people's names and the location they're from. So if you've just joined us, we're asking you to go to menti.com, type in the code 9245831 and just enter your name and where you're from.
While they do that, Chirag, I'm going to take this off because the Sharpie pen I used is giving me a little headache. I just did, so Sharpie pen is now making me a little.
And then I'll do one more thing just to make sure technology isn't cheating us. I'm going to just check and make sure that we're actually live. There we go, perfect. We're all running. Little technological issues, but we're back and moving. Okay, guys, so how about we start cooking our first recipe and we can talk some training and behavior as we do that. So we've lost Mike for a second.
Oh, no.
Join us in a second. Okay.
Do you sharpen your knife?
I do. Funny you asked.
Mike's back.
Is that what you were doing? Mike, we're just sharpening our knives.
All right. I think we still don't have Mike.
It looks like he is a little bit frozen. Well, hopefully.
So I have to show you while we're waiting for him to come back. I bought this thing for Christmas present. It's called Waterworks. And it ozonates the water. So when you spray, you can spray surfaces and stuff, and it gets rid of 99% of all the germs, and there's just water. It's just water.
Wow, so you add in water into that bottle.
Yeah. And it's got stuff in it that does stuff. And you spray it on like maybe your blueberries to keep them fresher, or I spray it on my eggs because I have the chickens and it kills salmonella and all this stuff. So anytime I have food or fresh food, I spray it with water, and 30 seconds later, no more salmonella.
Wow. What is that called?
And it's 30% off today for some reason. I don't know why. It's called Waterworks 03.
Cool. I think that sounds like something I definitely want. Waterworks 03.
Yeah.
Oh, found it. There's a website for it as well, guys. Oh, amazing.
Right?
Okay. Let me see if I can share that with everyone.
And you fill it with water to here, And then something in here happens and you don't even have to add salt. Like some of them you have to add salt. This one is just water, and I spray my counters. I spray my dog. You can spray the baby. You can spray the avocado, and then you wait 30 seconds. And supposedly, I don't sell it. I don't know. Supposedly it works. So
okay, well, that's amazing. So I'm definitely going to, after this live feed, hop on and buy myself one of those Waterworks thingy-majig, because Theresa's forcing me to do this.
No, I'm going to call them and make them give me money if people do this.
Okay, so Mike is back. Mike, can you see us? Are you connected?
Yeah, all fine. Yeah.
Amazing.
Internet cut out.
That's okay. Life happens. We just march on. And guys, if you want to find out more about Mike, his website is listed there, and it will pop up throughout this live feed, so you can do that too. So let's start with our first recipe, guys. So I'm just going to pull it up. We're going to start with the avocado chips and salsa recipe. So are you guys ready for this?
So ready.
So guys, this recipe is based on someone's recipe, so I don't want to steal their recipe. So what I've done is I've put their details on the screen now. So if you want to check out the original recipe, please visit that page. Okay, step one is to preheat the sauna to 160 Celsius, 325 degrees Fahrenheit, or gas mark 3. Now the sauna is the oven. I don't have a sauna at home, so let's go do that.
325 is what you said, right?
I said 325 Fahrenheit, 160 degrees Celsius, or gas mark 3.
Small approximations. Teresa's cooking.
This is what training is about, though. I was reading some of Skinner's work, and he talks about lots of tiny steps that are easy for the learner to be able to succeed at, and you grow them in a little step at a time, called shaping. So that's what we're doing as well. So next, guys, what we need is we need a baking tray, which we're calling the bed, and we need some bed sheets, what we're calling baking sheets or parchment paper.
He's screwing up it. It keeps moving. I don't know why.
Okay, so I have everyone got their bed? Mike, you got a bed?
Well, yeah.
And then do you have a bed sheet, Mike? If you don't have a bed sheet, you could just use some oil.
Yeah, we'll go for oil.
Perfect. And then so we're just going to oil the tray. I'm going to use baking paper. And I'm just going to lay that on my tray and put that aside for later. Okay. So guys, if you have any comments, post them in the chat box. We'll keep an eye on there.
Okay, sorry, I had to hairband myself to keep this from going in this. So I am now prepared to cook.
I need to do the same. Just give me a moment. Yay. Ready.
Hand sanitizer. I am ready to go.
Okay, guys. Hands clean. Bed sheets and bed ready for later. We need to do some work before we can go to bed. So next step is grab a medium bowl. So depends on how you define medium, but grab a bowl.
So just because you have an idea, now see, to me, that's a small bowl. It's good to define our criterion for people.
That's a very good point. How would you define medium if your head fits in it? What if you have a small head or a big head?
It's what I have. I have a big one and I have a smaller one, so I call that the medium.
You have choices. Mike, how are you doing with your medium bowl?
I've got a medium-sized bowl. Here we go.
Perfect. Okay. So I'll go with this one then. Next step, guys, is, are you ready for this? Pick up an avocado. Hold it in your hand. Now, what you need to do to this avocado is castrate it and undress it. Okay? Now, are you ready to surgically operate on the avocado, Mike?
Ready.
Theresa?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so guys, let's castrate and undress the avocado. Just be careful that you don't cut your fingers when you do this. Okay. So we chop it in half and then we need to castrate the avocado.
Castrate.
There we go. Here's a ball. It's only got one ball. Okay, we're going to pop that away.
What's that called?
What, the ball?
No, not the ball. When they've only got one descendant.
Oh, yes.
Crypto, Cairo. I'm sorry, Mike. We go there all the time. I'm so sorry. I apologize for all of it. What is it called, though? There's one undescended.
I'm on Google.
Crypto.
Orchid. When only one testicle is descended.
Say it one more time.
I said cryptorchid, but that's not the word. It's cryptorchism. Yeah, it is cryptorchism.
Close enough.
Yeah, according to harvardhealth.com.
I don't want anybody to say they don't learn anything on this show.
And then, guys, to undress the avocado, the simplest way is get a spoon and spoon the avocado. So just spoon and enjoy the spooning. Some people think it's the best part of it. So you've got options. If you like the other part, it's coming next. So first of all, we're spooning. Okay. So just one avocado, spoon it all in. Okay. So Theresa finds spooning very funny for some reason, but that's okay. Okay.
I'm already crying.
How are you getting on, Mike?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you.
He is so sorry he ever agreed to do this, and we're only 15 minutes in.
He's like, I used to be respected in my field and be a professional, but after this, lost. Okay, are you guys ready for the next step? If you are, raise your knife. Okay, super. Place your knife down. Pick up a fork. It's forking time. So now you're going to fork the avocado. So let the avocado use the fork.
So by forking it, do you mean make it mushy?
Yeah, basically just mush it. Fork it really good until it's all mushy.
Can you turn my cam on?
I can.
I just want to see if it works. Because we're so professional here.
Okay, so guys, we're forking away. Is anyone actually joining us and cooking along with us? If you are, post in the comments so we can see.
Okay, we've been properly forked.
Okay, perfect. Once you're all forked, raise your knife so we know we can move to the next step. I see 3 knives. So the next step is we need to add in 100 grams or 3/4 cups of grated Parmesan.
Tag. you know what I'm tagging you for? You don't even know, so I'm not sure it's that reinforcing. But you converted. You made the conversion.
I don't have 100 grams, but I'm just going to use what I have. On the show, we just like...
It's your recipe.
We're gonna, well, we can fork it later again. Don't get too carried away with forking stuff right now. So once we've done the Parmesan, we want to add in 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. So a tip is you get your lemon and you get handsy with it. So give it a nice little roll and get to know your lemon well. Really feel it. Close your eyes and feel every sensation. Remember to breathe in and out while you do this. Breathing is very important.
Mike, help me with him.
Okay, so once you have really got to know your lemon, we're going to chop the lemon in half. Or you might just have bottled lemon juice, you can use that. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of lemon, roughly-ish. There, I think that looks good. Okay. Oops. Are you ready for the next ingredient to go in, guys?
Yeah, I dropped a seed. Got it. Okay.
Okay, next step is we need half a teaspoon of garlic powder.
I like lots of lemon.
And you get to choose how much lemon, how much garlic and stuff you put in, guys. If you like more garlic, go ahead, garlic yourself out.
And then what you can do is you can take the lemon and you can rub it on your skin.
Oh, beauty tip.
So we can do a facial.
Smells like horse food.
A what?
Smells like horse food with the garlic.
Horse food.
Horse food.
Oh, do you feed through garlic to keep flies out?
I don't have a horse, but yeah,
Oh.
used to put garlic powder in their food.
Second thing people have learned. Wait a minute, don't go over that. That's very important. Did you hear what he said?
What?
There are people who have said, and I've heard this quite a bit, I don't know where my teaspoon thing is, I'm gonna eyeball this, that if you feed garlic in animals' meals, it helps keep down the fly population.
Oh, but with dogs, the last thing I read was it can have a cumulative effect on the body. So if you keep giving garlic and build it up, it could become too much. And so I can't remember now whether this is good science or bad science, but I remember reading this whole thing about putting garlic into food, mainly for research with dogs anyway.
I agree.
There might be people out there like, Chirag, you're completely wrong. I'm sorry if I am. I'm just saying, do the science, check the data, see what it says, rather than going with like old tales and believing in stuff without doing the research.
Or something you hear here. But,
exactly.
But smell, to Mike's point, smells bring back memories, right?
Isn't there a song, Bring Back Memories? We can't play it because YouTube won't let us have this video on YouTube if we play it. Okay, so are we ready for the next step? If we are, raise your knife. Okay, I like this. Next step is we need half a teaspoon of some kind of seasoning. I'm going to use some mixed herbs for you Americans and British people. Herbs or herbs. Gonna just put them into the bowl.
Did you say a half teaspoon-ish?
Yeah, just like whatever you feel like. How herby do you like it?
Herbaceous.
That's a big word.
Yeah. Herbatory.
Okay.
Herbalicious.
You remind me of like Nicole Scherzinger, where she comes up with all these words, and like you're just like her, Theresa.
I am just like her.
You are in every way. Okay, the next one is we need to make it salty. So this is up to you, how much salt you like, whether you have high blood pressure, low blood pressure, what you fancy doing. So get some salt and salt away.
So while we're salting away, can I ask Mike a question?
Oh, that would be a good idea, yes.
How did he find himself doing what he does, at least on the videos? I don't know if he does that full time, but working with these large avian things, birds and whatnot. How did you find your way there?
To working with birds.
Yes, sir.
I started off in a zoo.
Uh-oh, we froze.
Oops. Mike, I heard him say zoo.
Look what you taught me. Lots of spoons, taste.
Oh, very good. I like this. It's so important to taste the food as you cook along, guys. So if you are cooking along, taste, 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 taste. My mother will tell you that there's always 1,000 spoons. Or Theresa will tell you, she's like my mother as well now. Theresa will tell you there's so many spoons in the sink when I'm cooking.
All right, let's go ahead and keep going here.
Okay.
What is the story?
Pepper. Depends on how peppery you like it.
Pretty peppery, okay.
Okay, so we're going to just pepper away. And
Probably
then,
too much. Oh yeah, too much. Okay, next.
okay, perfect. So we've added the pepper in, and then with the pepper, we need to go to, just need to get my recipe up again. Okay, so now what we need to do is let the ingredients have a wild and intimate time together. So we need to help them away, just like really get intimate with the ingredients.
Ooh, there's some sounds in there. Privacy.
Oh, you can hear them if you really listen.
I'm back.
Hi, Mike. Your camera is
Why is
like
it on,
for me.
yeah, why am I on the side?
Yeah.
It's okay, we're accommodating. All right, what's next?
Okay, so once we're all mixed, just give Mike a moment.
I'm gonna add a little bit of cayenne pepper.
Oh, look at you getting wild. Oh, you can do that. I might add a fresh chili in there.
Oh, that's right. We're still doing chili, aren't we?
I'm sideways now.
Oh.
It's okay.
You can be sideways.
We're accommodating.
You do you.
I'll be a little bit on the side, Chirag.
Okay, so I have another question for you who do birds. What I've been told is that at least chickens do not have capsaicin receptors, and therefore you can feed them hot peppers if they want it. Is this true?
That's a really good question. I know my parrots love chilies. Well, I say they love chilies. They eat them very fast. And they start running towards me or flying towards me when I got them. Mike, do you know this information?
But you didn't hear it because of my internet that keeps cutting in and out. Could you repeat it, please?
I've heard that at least chickens do not have capsaicin receptors. So therefore they can eat hot peppers without any concerns. Like if you're throwing out your dinner's meal and there was some hot peppers in there. I was wondering if you knew if that was true.
Yeah, I believe that's correct for quite a lot of birds. And like Chirag was saying, parrots and lots of different birds enjoy hot flavoured foods. Can you hear us, Chirag?
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you still there, Mike? Oh, Theresa, I think you need to unmute. We're having a really good technology day today, guys, you can see. Yes, Theresa, if you can hit unmute on your computer, please. You should be able to, on the screen for StreamYard, be able to hit unmute near your picture.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, perfect.
Can you hear me now? I didn't even touch it.
Poor Mike, he's having some issues with his technology, but while he's doing that, we can get on to our next step.
Okay.
Are you adding chilies into your mixture as well? Very good, look at that. I'm going to wash my hands after handling the chilies, so I don't end up crying.
Well, wait, what kind of chili did you use?
I used a long, thin one. Bird's eye chili.
Are they very hot?
They can be quite spicy.
Because these big, thick ones aren't so spicy.
So big and thin, not spicy. Long and thin, spicy. Get to know your tools, or whatever you want to call them, instruments,
Your
and
peppers.
get to know their delicacies and intricacies. So once we're done with that, we need a spoon.
A what?
A spoon.
Spoon. Spoon.
Okay, so with the spoon, we're going to start to do some spooning. Now, when we're spooning, it's up to you whether you like to be big spoon or small spoon, or you can do both. So we're going to be spooning, and we're going to be placing on the tray that we prepared earlier. So we need to go to our tray.
I feel like I'm really going to love this, and I wish I would have doubled the recipe.
So spoon, and then you're just going to, like you would with a cookie, have little like dots everywhere, and you can flatten them using a spoon or a measuring cup, the bottom of a measuring cup. Just put some oil on the bottom so it doesn't stick.
So Chirag, you also work with birds.
I do.
What do you find most interesting about birds that you may not see with the other animals you work with?
Oh, well, so I think getting to know what behaviors to look for, or what you might call body language, because so, like I think the dog, you can look at the tail, you can look at their yawning, you can look at their, there's a lot of things, big things to look for. When it comes to some other animals, I think when we're not practiced doing that, we can be unsure what to look for. So with birds, there's a lot you can tell with the way their eyes are either pinning or like getting bigger and smaller, whether their feathers are fluffing up, whether their wings opening, whether they're lifting their feet up.
What does eyes pinning mean?
So you see the pupils get like really small and dark and intense. Basically, like you see two fins essentially. And often when birds are in fight flight, they're probably either really excited or unsure. You're going to see them really start swimming and their eyes get focused. And so that's a sign where you might want to just evaluate what's going on in the environment. You may not catch the bird right at that moment either.
That is the 5th very interesting thing I learned today.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get something to flatten these things with. So I'm going to use a spoon that I'm just going to rub some olive oil on. And then I'm just going to spray some olive oil on the spoon. And once we're done spraying the olive oil on, I'm just going to use that to flatten all the bits.
Are these big enough?
Yeah, they're going to turn into like chips. So if you want to, I'm going to flatten mine.
I just sprayed the balls instead of my spoon because.
Did you just say you sprayed the balls?
I did. I cheated.
Okay. There we go. Hi, Mike.
Hi, sorry, yeah, I'm on a phone now because the computer stopped working with the internet and stuff.
That's okay. When one thing in life doesn't work, try something else.
Yeah, exactly.
So what we're doing
behind my processing.
So we mixed in the salt and pepper, and we mixed everything together. Then we used a spoon, like you would with cookies, and just put little splats on a tray. And then we're squashing them down using a spoon or a thing.
Okay.
Okay. I hope these are flat enough. I think they are.
Okay.
So, Mike, I was asking Chirag if he thought there was anything specific that he enjoyed working with birds. Are they all considered avian? Is that a correct term?
For birds, yeah, as a collective family, yeah.
Okay. Working with avian then, that you find that you don't get as much of from working with other species that you maybe particularly enjoy?
Yeah, I think the main thing for me when working with birds is most of them have a natural way of working in which they find food on their own. So you don't get so much of that pack instinct like you would with a dog that would work collectively as a group. So it tends to be sometimes a little bit more time consuming to try and build a relationship with that animal because they ultimately have had so many thousands of years of evolution of just working on their own. So for me, it is sometimes frustrating because I like to have a really strong relationship with the animal in which we're working with, and birds is so far one of the most difficult I've found to build a good relationship with. So yeah, I think that's probably the thing that I find most different between them and maybe working with canine or a mammal. It's just their natural operating system is very, very solitary in most cases, and the only time that they pull together is for sort of flock instinct, to sort of have some form of safety. But even when they're in a flock, mostly they're quite selfish. They're finding food for themselves, opposed to helping others around them. So yeah, I'd say that's probably the main difference. Does that make sense?
It not only makes sense, but it makes me want to look at everything else I train with that window, including humans, right? That's a really, really interesting point. And I may have to write that down as well.
And I think it really does fit in also for me. Like I translate stuff back to behavior science. And when you think about it, we're looking at what kind of things might be reinforcing or not so reinforcing. And that could be based on the ethology of the species, genetics, lots of other factors. And so by seeing, okay, for a bird, what could be the reinforcers we could use, we could learn a lot from what Mike's saying. So,
Oven?
yes, so the next step is to let the, there we go, place the beds in the sauna for 30 minutes. So place them in the oven for 30 minutes.
Got it.
Okay, so part 2 of this recipe is, do you guys have a blender handy?
No.
Okay, so if you have a blender, you just be doing a lot of chopping. If you have a blender, then you can just stick it all into a blender. So we're going to make a salsa, and what we're going to do... Yeah, food processor.
Okay.
I'm cooking things up.
So Mike is going to be chopping. That's perfect. So Mike, what we need is red onion. So what you want to do is a red onion is into tiny small pieces for a salsa. So little pieces. And for Theresa, who's got the food processor, I'm just going to chop mine in kind of half and then chuck it in the food processor. Also, everyone has preferences. So some people like chunky salsa. Some people like it really fine and almost like soupy. So depending on what consistency or what texture you like your salsa is how you chop the object, how you chop the vegetables.
I am glad you gave us that bit of information because I like mine excessively chunky. So I'm going to join Mike in the cutting situation here.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely getting chunky here with my one.
Gosh, I hope there's really no chefs watching this if they're looking at my knife skills.
Did you say half an onion, Chirag?
Say again?
Did Chirag say half an onion?
Did I say what? Sorry, Mike?
1/2 of an onion?
Oh, 1 onion.
Oh, wait, what happened to the tomatoes? Weren't we on tomatoes?
No, we're on onions.
Shit. Shoot! Shoot!
But that's okay.
Darn it.
Tomatoes work.
Darn it. Okay.
Once you chop the onions, you can start chopping your tomatoes.
Okay. How many tomatoes? Because I'm actually going to start with the tomatoes.
4 to 6, depending on how big they are. I've got small ones, so I'm using 6 of these small ones.
So this is something about training I want to bring up. When you are working with learners, and I don't know about animals, but I think so, is you give them your instructions. And because it's life and they might be thinking of something else, even if they're looking at you and shaking their head and complete agreement of what you just said, if it is dangerous or frightening in any way, it is good to double check. And so sometimes if you know tag teach, we say the tag point is, let's just say, it was cut onion, right? Oftentimes we will say, and the tag point is, so that I force that learner to go back in and see what they filed away. And sometimes you get people who admit they didn't file it and they were just shaking their heads because they want to please you and they want to move on. So this was not highly dangerous yet. But if you are training somebody in a situation where things are very expensive if they make a mistake or if they could be injured, and you're giving them a really clear instruction, and you need one more layer of safety that they understood and heard you and can take that instruction away with them, meaning it's filed in their head, just ask them again. And if you get it in a nice 5 words or less tag point, it should be easy for them to go chop onion. That's not dangerous, no big deal. But if you were training in that scenario, like working with exotic animals, you do not want them to make a mistake.
That's a good point, because I think, like you say, a lot of times we just say, "Did you understand?" and people nod their head because that's the behavior that's been reinforced. And sometimes the function of that behavior can be escape or avoidance. So people nod their head just to escape or avoid the situation. So we should have onions chopped up, and we should also have some tomatoes chopped up. The next thing we're going to add in is a bunch of cilantro. So you can chop up cilantro as well. I'm just going to add it into my blender. Or coriander. How are you guys getting on with your chopping skills?
Yeah, Theresa, she's really going for it then.
She is. She's been practicing my skills. Look at her.
Well, you know what? And this is another learning thing, guys. I found that because I'm under 5 foot tall, most cutting things are too high for me. So I see people cutting and they're like, use your knife, keep your arms straight. I'm like, I cut practically in my face. So know your learner.
Mike, do you do much cooking?
Now
Do I do much cooking?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
What was the last thing you cooked, apart from the stuff we're doing today?
Sorry? What was the last thing I cooked?
Yeah.
Toast.
So would you say this is a more complex procedure, cooking procedure than normal?
Yeah, I wouldn't have time to cook anything like this. All this cooking and preparation, and so much time each day preparing the animal foods, making sure the right vitamin content is there and the right quantities. And then at the end of the day, and I find it most zookeepers and animal people that I know as well, I eat quite healthily, but you try and find the quickest way of just feeding yourself to get that job done. And it just goes to show how much time you put into your animals each day opposed to yourself.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think a lot of zookeepers I know spend so much time at work working with their animals and for their animals. And a lot of people have issues with zoos and zoo animals, and people sometimes even might be asking, why does Mike have an eagle, or why does Mike have a bird? And so I think we have to look at the bigger picture here. There's different reasons why people have to look after these animals. And in my experience, if you know what Mike does with these animals and how much time he spends with them, he takes them out, exercises them, flies them. What kind of things, Mike, do you do with your birds to help them sort of thrive and meet their needs?
I guess lots of it's just down to putting the time in, socializing, and I find lots of bird trainers specifically focus on exercising the bird in the form of just flying it. And I think that's a bit like maybe taking a dog to the park and constantly throwing a tennis ball for it to create some exercise and a game. But you need to obviously do other things than just that, because otherwise the dog would not be able to rest with you and relax with you. And dog owners have a good balance, I think, because naturally we're brought up to understand that if you have a dog, you relax and have them in the house and you spend chill out time with them, you spend time exercising them, you have a time where you feed them. But birds, if you're working in a bird industry, you tend to spend just time exercising them. You know, you've been told that, you know, you're going to go and train this bird and fly it and fly another one. So I do try and balance the time out and segment it the same as you would if you had a pet dog, by spending some time just doing nothing with them. Today, for instance, I had my lunch with my hawk, and I have like a small little camper van type thing.
So the hawk can relax inside that with you, and he sits on the steering wheel, or he comes to sit on the little kitchen area in there. And you know, you probably wouldn't be able to do that professionally each day. Say, I need a certain amount of time to have lunch with the birds, or just sit down with them. But I find it really beneficial to do that, and it really enhances the relationship. And I think it lets them know that you're more than just a food provider as well. You also can offer them shelter and everything that you would for a dog again. So yeah, I think probably that would be something I always concentrate on. It's having a high amount of time to socialize with them away from physical exercise. And that's what we've always done.
I love that, and I really about like the zookeepers that I know and I work with, or people I work with who work with marine mammals. The amount of time they spend more time at work looking for ways to entertain the animals, play with them, exercise them, help them meet their needs. And so I think it's so important that the amount of time, and I think even with pet dogs, sometimes people might go, well, I have a dog and that's not cruel. But actually, if you have a dog and you go to work 8 hours or 9 hours a day, and this highly social, potential social animal is staying at home all day, whereas you're spending the 12 hours a day at work actually with the animals. And so I think sometimes we or criticize kind of zoo work, or the amount of work they do, and I think the amount of time they put in with the animals is phenomenal. I remember you sent me a message once showing me with one of your birds, you were exercising or working with some of your birds outside, and this bird was in a crate, and there's a little hole cut out, and I can't remember if it was a crow or a raven.
And a corvid, yeah.
Yeah, do you want to tell that? Do you know what? Like you were playing a movie for him or her to watch while the other birds were outside doing. What movie were you?
Currently, I've been working on. It was the Lion. Can we say movies? Is it advertising? Yeah, we might get a deal with Disney. Yeah, it was the new Lion King movie. It was just downloaded to an iPad, and we put that on play. She watched it in 2 halves, so it was like a first half one day, next half the other. But yeah, she engaged with that movie and had her head out of a hole that was cut into a sky kennel, and that hole in the box is quite handy for letting her have a drink whilst we're in transit, or she'll put her head out of the hole to have a head scratch, in which we can access her legs through another hatch on the side of the box and put her tracker on her leg. But yeah, the bird looked just simply a little bit fidgety whilst we was in the middle of doing work with the other animals. So I thought, oh, let's put a movie on for her, and yeah, it kept her focus, and obviously sounds and stimulation, and it was reinforcing for the bird to just spend some time still, and it did eliminate the behaviour which I didn't want, which was the bird moving around a lot inside the crate. So yeah, that was quite funny. But yeah, I did send it specifically to you. I thought you would like that.
I loved it. I just thought it was amazing. And now you're thinking about how you're using antecedent arrangement. So you've got the hole for the head, and you've got the access areas to the feet with the tracker on. And rather than going, stop fidgeting, you've said, here, I'll give you something to do. And you gave the bird, the corvid, a movie to watch. And while the bird's engaged, like people do with children, you're able to put a tracker on his feet. That sounds like something a parent would do. Theresa, your experience with people and children, does that sound similar to you? Oh, Theresa can't hear us, I think. Oh, she can.
No, I was chopping and making noise, so I went on mute. So I think that's so interesting that we find that okay and desirable with animals, non-human animals, but yet when we work with humans, we're like, no, we want them to want to sit quietly and not be just, you know what I mean? So I think it's absolutely brilliant. And then later on, if you can train calm behavior without it, great. But in the moment, their desire is not to want to be, you know what I mean? There's a
I think that's the point. Is when we say in the future we can train this, in the current moment, what I look at, and Mike is doing, It's actually training. Some people might call it distraction, but if there's a contingency, if there's a behavior and an outcome, what's happening is Mike has this bird who might be fidgeting. Now, rather than saying you have to sit still to get a reward, Mike has arranged the environment so that the still behavior can occur. There's a consequence for it, which is you get to watch the movie, and while his hands are on the food and putting the cracker on, there's access to reinforcers occurring. So what's actually happening is you're strengthening that behavior, and in the future, when you want the animal to sit still and want them to want to do it, that's already going to happen because of all the history of learning that's already been put into place. And so sometimes looking at these strategies can be really, really useful.
Right. And it's okay to do it with humans, right? We just assume that we have to do it with animals, but that humans need to want to sit there. Okay, understood. But for now, where do we start that I have a relationship in the future sometime? Yeah.
That's a great point. So guys, coming back to the recipe for a second, have we got onions, tomatoes, and cilantro in a container together?
Yeah.
Perfect. So what we need to add in next is some garlic cloves. So it's up to you how much garlic you like. I'm going to add in 3 cloves of garlic. You can add in 1 or 2. You just want to chop it finely, or you crush it with a garlic press.
Okay, so
I'm going to check on the oven as well and see how things are going in there while we do that.
So here we go. Here's 1 clove, 2 cloves, 3 cloves.
I love it. Theresa's using garlic powder. Perfect. If you have garlic powder, use garlic powder. Works the same, does the same thing.
Only because I can't get the smell of garlic off my hands for days. Bugs me.
Toothpaste. Wash your hands in toothpaste.
Okay, we're on number 7 things I've learned from this.
And then we want to add in any chilies or jalapenos. So I like it spicy. Mike, do you like it spicy or less spicy?
I don't like spicy food, no.
Okay,
so I'm not going to add any into mine.
Perfect. Life is about options, and you can choose not to add in the chilies. I'm going to add in 3. 1, 2, and 3.
So I added in the rest of the jalapeno, and I'm going to do some chili flakes. Because
I'm loving the flexibility here. That's what life is about. I think if you're too rigid sometimes, you don't have so much fun, and you have to look at what you have around you and make things work. With our animals in training too, sometimes you try and aim for perfection, and it actually becomes so punishing to be around that training session. Whereas actually, let's just look, what Mike is amazing at doing is going, okay, what's reinforcing for this learner today? What other what things in the environment you wake up, and how can I set myself up so my bird wants to be with me? How can I make myself part of that environment that's fun and happy and enjoyable, the bird wants to do? So next we're going to add in some salt.
where did you learn that, Mike? Where did you get the idea that I want to do this and set up for the animal or positive reinforcement or whatever you want to talk about, but in the manner that you train? Where did you go, this is the way I want to do this?
I don't think I really decided that this is how I'm going to do it. Just because it feels more natural to me to be compassionate, I guess. And if the animal isn't enjoying the time that it's with me, it's my job and nature to find a better way of doing things. I often feel really obliged to do the best by them because they, as a professional, bring in my income and they feed me and they give me my house to live in. So I just feel it's like a duty really to sort of do the best by them. And I think sometimes as well, you look at them and going back to small things like playing to a bird that's sitting down for a short while, you just do sometimes have to think, how would you like to be treated as well as a human? And try to do the same for them.
Well, you make it sound like that's natural, but I don't think it always is natural for a lot of people. So it's amazing that that's, I'm sorry, I've got a pepper burning my throat.
Oh no.
So I just think when you say it's just how you felt, I think that's really exceptional.
You're making Theresa cry.
Obviously, I do gain with Pepper. I do gain lots of information from spending time around people, but effectively, I don't think if you're going to find a style, you should be looking for people to copy, because then it's not natural to you. And I think, especially with the birds, they work on such small details in the things that you're doing each day, that if you try and copy someone else, it makes everything so slow, because you're trying to learn a behavior yourself and then act it out for them to learn. Whereas if it's more natural in itself, it's a lot more fluent and there's no pauses, and it's more what's the best way of just saying it? I guess it's just more natural, so it's easier for the bird to see what's going on, maybe. So yeah, not a lot of copying going on, if I can help it.
That is a really amazing statement. This is one of those, Chirag, that we should go take a second look and just cut out 2 of the things that he has said so far, because that is some amazing insight. And I kind of want to chew through that. That you learn from people, you observe from people, you can educate yourself from people. But if you're too stringent, and correct me if I'm misstating you now, Mike, but if you're too stringent and try to follow them exactly little thing for little thing, it could possibly actually slow down you and your training and your relationship with your learner.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that goes for a lot of things that you were trying to learn. Anything, if you're good at something, I mean, I find it really difficult to learn languages. Some people will take to that quite easily. So there's lots of different ways in which you could probably learn a language. So training, I guess, is just like trying to portray a language. It's body language, and you're doing things that the birds see and do, daily different cues and things. And yeah, I guess if I try and learn a language and I try and repeat Spanish, it just doesn't come out of my mouth and isn't natural. But my native tongue, which I've grown up learning over a long period of time, is natural. And it'd be silly to try and speak Spanish to people on holiday. Really, I'd be better off to just speak English, because it's going to be easier for them to understand. So I guess, yeah, be who you are when you're training with the animals, and try not to pretend to be someone else and copy styles that you've seen that look glamorous or something, because they may not be the best thing to do, I guess.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, there's so many nuanced points there. I can see Theresa running to an oven to have a look. So it would be worth just checking in on your little Parmesan chipsy things to see if they're done or not. And they need some time outside the oven. They look good, so I would now give them time to just have a little rest while we finish off the salsa, because they need to harden. So I'm going to take mine out of the oven as well.
Okay.
So, I think it's really interesting in terms of, for me, learning is a natural process. And when we talk about behavior science, the reason I love behavior science is because, for me, it's the most natural way you can learn. Skinner's analysis of behavior were descriptions of what's happening in the natural world. So when animals are doing certain things, he didn't invent operant conditioning or learning through consequences. It was more about describing behavior in nature. And so for me, when Mike is talking, I'm translating what he's saying into sort of Chirag words or behavior words and behavior language, and going, that makes a lot of sense to me. And I can really see like the science fitting in really well from that perspective. So I love what you're saying. When it comes to the salsa for a second, I'm just going to check in with you guys and see where we are at. So have we got onions?
Check.
Yes.
Check. Have we got tomatoes?
Check.
Yep.
Cilantro?
Yep.
Check.
Garlic?
Uh-huh.
Chili, if you wish to use it.
Check.
Salt?
Yep.
Check.
Now, I've written sugar, not sugar. I've added in some erythritol, which is like a sugar alternative. But you can add in a little bit of sugar if you want to add that little bit of sweetness to it.
Pass.
And then I did forget to put 2 things on my ingredients list for this recipe. One was some cumin powder. So a little teaspoon of cumin powder. So I'm going to add that into my mixture here. So you guys can see what I'm putting things into here is, let's see if you guys can actually see this. It's all in this blender for me. And we're going to blend her away shortly.
You know what's exciting, Chirag?
What?
Is I went through, I'm just realizing I threw out my bottle. Well, I didn't throw it out, I'm saving it, but I just finished an entire bottle of cumin. And
Wow.
right? In like a month, and I don't think I had done that in 10 years before you came here and you taught me how to use these things. But look, from my pandemic pantry, I have another whole bottle.
Yay! Theresa has this pandemic pantry. It's amazing. I remember well, we didn't set it up, but
Brian did.
yeah, exactly. And setting that all up. So the other thing we can add to this is, if you want to, you don't have to, this is an optional extra, is I'm going to add some tinned tomatoes. And so some when I struggle to, once I've struggled to open the tin of tomatoes, there we go. So I'm just going to pour some of these tomatoes in here. Okay, that looks like it's enough. And then these guys have chopped. I haven't been chopping, so what I'm going to do is stick my blender lid on and blend away.
Oh, there's too many hot
Let me put myself on mute for a second while I do that.
I have, Mike, was never a spicy food eater until Chirag spent 3 months here. And Eva, the Bertelsen, and they are both hot food fanatics. So I am still struggling a bit with adding hot. I really, really like it, but every once in a while, ooh. Uh-oh, we lost Mike. You're still on mute. Oh, there he is.
I'm back
He's
again.
back. He's back. I don't know if you heard me, Mike, but I was saying that I also struggle with hot foods, as I currently am right now. I put in too many hot peppers. Never had any hot pepper before Chirag forced us to eat hot things. Still struggling. Love it, but still struggling just a little.
Wow.
Can't enjoy food.
Wow. I can feel my free chilies, but in a good way. I'm just going to adjust my recipe, and I haven't added in my lime, and I'm going to add a bit more salt. So I'm going to add a bit more salt, and I'm going to add in my lime juice. So you just want to make sure you get good and handsy with your lime. Okay, and then give it a good squeeze into your salsa.
The lime and the coconut, then you feel better.
I missed that. Every time you mention lime, that's a cue for Theresa's verbal behavior of.
You put the lime and the coconut, then you feel better. The lime and the coconut, then you feel better.
And then I'm going to give my salsa one quick whiz.
Mute, mute, mute.
I'm going to mute before. Okay, so give it a little taste. A bit more salt.
You know what? This is just for me and my husband. I don't have to switch spoons. Who cares? I can eat the same spoon.
And where's my sugary substitute gone? Where's my sugary substitute? Okay.
I'm getting very excited to taste test this.
Okay. There we go. There we go. And that is perfect. The sweetness, the tanginess, the chilliness, it's just like a mouth orgasm. How's
Do you see Mike? Do you see my problem? Do you see the issues I have?
I don't know how you had him in your house for 9 weeks.
Oh,
loved it.
I did. I did.
How are your mouth orgasms?
Who are you talking
This is what happens when I do it. It's like,
Oh.
it kind of just runs through the whole body.
How about you, Mike? What happens when you put some in your mouth?
Yeah, I don't give much away. Very much in my head.
You're going to be a bird.
Yeah. Just sit there and look at you.
Okay. Oh, yes. I did say when I put the stuff in the blender, we can think about it and let all the ingredients learn that they're all one and the same underneath each other. So you blend all the ingredients. They look different, but truly, we're all just one. So now we have our salsa. We're going to place it into a bowl. There we go. So I'm not sure if people are actually able to see this on my Facebook page. I think we're having some technical issues. If you are having technical issues, you wouldn't be able to see this in the first place. I don't know why I'm mentioning it, but it is actually working on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube and Domesticated Manners, you are able to see this.
Oh, it's salty.
Okay. I have my salsa.
Yours looks good.
Let's see yours, Mike.
No, mine's off camera.
Why is that?
Mine's a secret salsa. It smells
Theresa, I see you tasting your your little chips there. How are they?
Yeah, they look okay. Look,
Oh, nice. How do they taste?
I haven't tried them yet. Are we allowed to?
Yeah, let's have a taste. Dip away.
We're gonna put the salsa on now.
Yeah, put some salsa on.
I'm going to plate mine by adding a little sprig of the cilantro on top.
Oh yeah, they're good.
I've just taken a bit of chunk here, and I'm just gonna.
This is freaking amazing.
Yeah, good. If I had the time, I'd cook them every night.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Mm. 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 Yum.
That is like an explosion.
One thing I would change is overall was too much salt for me. So either in the chip or the salsa, I need to reduce the amount of salt.
Because of the Parmesan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then when you were eating this, it made me think of the question you asked earlier about chilies and birds. And we were saying parrots, my parrots love chilies, a lot of birds, parrots do. I'm thinking avocados actually are very bad for birds, from what I was told.
Yeah, we have, I had to go out and source one because we don't have them in the house very often. And we have loads of fruit and veg, obviously, for the parrots that we have. But yeah, it's actually poisonous, isn't it? So it's a toxin to them, and very few things would make them really poorly because they can deal with quite a lot going on in their intestines and that. But so don't feed this to your parrot.
Definitely do not give this to your parrot, because it would not be a good idea to give avocado-based products to your parrot.
Might be wise if no one eats my one, but yeah, definitely.
I'm sure your ones actually taste very good, Mike.
So I have 2 bags. I have 1 bag of leftovers pieces that the chickens can have. And then I threw away my avocado peels in the garbage. So
Is it true for chickens as well? Does anyone know whether they can have, is avocado bad for chickens as well?
on my chicken list, they say yes. I have no idea.
Because I know for parrots, but I'm not sure about chickens.
I mean, they say yes, don't do it. No to avocados, just say no.
Let's just say no to avocados.
Yeah.
Cool. That is delicious. So guys, if you've cooked along and take a picture, post it in the chat box. Don't actually know if any chat box is working, but post it in the chat box, and love to see what you guys have made. We do have some comments. We have a comment here, Theresa, saying, someone is saying, love the food happy dance from Theresa.
Thank you, but it's really embarrassing because that happens to me no matter where I go, right? If something is really good, I'll be in a restaurant, I'll be like, yeah, that, yes, that. And I can almost not control it.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. Okay. That actually tastes really, really good.
Mm. So they actually do get nice and crispy.
Tidy when you cook. Have you seen the mess I've made?
But that's joy right there. That's how Chirag cooks. So then he expects Eva and I to come clean it up.
That is very true. I've got the same thing going on here, Mike.
Oh, that's okay. It makes me feel better.
So it's a mess here as well.
I've had like 6 of these now. Is that bad?
No, it's they're healthy. They're good for you.
All right. We should get to the next thing because this is long.
It was a bit optimistic going for 3 recipes in an hour, and we're here an hour and a half later.
Well, you know what? Let me do something. Can I just brush through mine and then we'll get to the last one?
Yeah, definitely. But
So,
Was it good?
okay, can of garbanzo.
okay.
One more of these.
Oh, we need to turn the gas up as well to 7.
Oh, 425. That's right. Oh my gosh, these are so good.
Okay. So if you're in the UK, 220 degrees or gas mark 7, we're going to turn the oven up. Going to open a can of chickpeas. So, So what do you do with the chickpeas once you open them?
You put the chickpea in the strainer and pour them all out. You put the chickpea in the strainer and pour them all out. And then you put them, I drain them, I rinse them. I think it's a thing. Some people like to, some people don't. I'm rinsing mine.
Now. Do they need to be dry?
Yes. So then I take my pan with the baking paper on it and either lay a clean cloth or some paper towels. You're going to dry them because we don't want them to steam. We want them to get crisp.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm losing my peas everywhere, chickpeas everywhere.
Are they trying to escape?
Yeah, they're running around.
So you need to set up your seating arrangement so that they stay where you want them.
These are stubborn chickpeas.
Labels, labels, labels. All right. So I'm gonna spritz them with some olive oil. Did I say that right? Olive
oil, yes, yes, yes.
olive oil. Give them a little rub down, a little massage. Ooh, baby, ooh, baby. Yes, that feels kind of cool. And this is super simple. You're going to take all that stuff that you had out and didn't put away yet, or whatever is your new favorite, and you're going to sprinkle.
I decided to use Nando's peri peri seasoning. Do you guys have Nando's in America?
It's possible. Don't know.
It's a restaurant here, a food chain. So I've got some of the seasonings. I'm going to use that.
All right. I sprinkle some garlic. He's sprinkling Nando's. What are you sprinkling? Excuse me. What are you sprinkling, Mike?
I'm not sprinkling anything on this one.
Oh. Okay, so this is the usual all-purpose. My son got me this. All-purpose black pepper, rosemary, garlic, lemon, and cayenne pepper. It's called the usual.
The usual. That's you guys have some cool bottled stuff there.
Yes, that's why we used to take trips to Walmart just so you could look at that stuff.
Nearly every day.
Right, and buy clothes.
Are we going to Walmart again? Are we going to Walmart again?
We bundle up in our 6 masks. All right, give them a little massage.
Okay.
Get them as far apart as you can. If you have an air fryer, this is great in the air fryer.
Oh.
And that's it.
Put them in the oven?
Put them in the oven. Put them in the sauna. This is how I cook, Mike. If I can't do it in 3 steps, it's not happening.
They are in the sauna.
Okay, let's put 10 minutes on there, and we'll check them in 10.
Okay.
And then what I do is when you get them out, they become kind of like popcorn. But I don't do corn very well. It upsets my stomach. So this is my pickle jar. But
Oh, cool.
and then you can
Another healthy snack.
another healthy snack.
And this one takes less time. So this one might be something that Mike can do in a few minutes as opposed to... Sorry?
This is a mic-friendly recipe.
It is a Mike-friendly recipe. That's correct. I'm going to go and deliver my salsa inside so the rest of the family can enjoy while we wait for the chickpeas and we do our cucumber. And so I'll be back in a sec.
Oh, not me. I'm keeping all of them for me. No one's gonna take that. All right, cucumber, cream cheese, sour cream, all coming our way.
Okay. So while the chickpeas are roasting away, shall we try a quick cucumber recipe?
Only if you can behave yourself.
Okay, I will behave myself. Mike, you can watch to make sure that I'm behaving. So this is called Juicy Succulent Cucumber Bite.
Did you name it yourself?
I did. Are you impressed with the name?
Yeah. What inspired you for this menu?
Well, Mike, I'm not sure, but I think this is going to be a great recipe. It's like another mouth orgasm.
Okay.
Very juicy and like moist. So
No. We don't use the word moist.
oh, okay, we don't use much moist. So this recipe is based on the website I put up now. Okay, so we start with one thick, succulent, juicy cucumber. I'm going to take the wrapping off this one. Okay.
Yes.
Have you got a vegetable peeler? Or you can use a knife.
So why did we lose our Facebook feed?
I'm not sure. It's not. It hasn't connected to Facebook for some reason. So there's probably a lot of people who are maybe sad.
No, very sad.
Hi, George.
Be shy.
George, do you want to introduce a little video? I heard you made a really cool video about owls. Do you want to introduce that for us?
Would you like other people to see a video?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you like to tell them about it? Or just say I made a video?
Just say I made a video.
You can tell them. Tell them I made a video.
I made a video
with my owls.
with my owls.
Cool. So we're going to get to see George in action with these owls. So we're gonna I'm gonna share that with you guys right now. It's definitely worth having a look. So let's take a look at George and his owls.
Wait. Before we do that,
Yes.
while we're watching it, should we be doing something with the cucumbers? Can we do multitask?
Yes, we can. That's a good point. So what we can do is we're gonna you can use your vegetable peeler to take off a bit of the skin for the cucumber, but you're not going to take all the skin off. What you're going to do is you're going to do a bit of skin off, a bit of skin on. So you create like a zebra-like stripe pattern.
You can also fork your cucumber.
And once you do that, we're going to chop it into little slices, like coins.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
So while we're doing that, let's watch George's video.
That's really good. Medallions.
Medallions, that's it.
Video.
Okay. George and his owls coming up for everyone.
Hi, my name's George. Do you want to come and see my owls? Are you ready to meet Sarah and Percy? This is Percy, he's a ballerina. This is Sarah, she's also a ballerina. boys hear one right and one wrong. That means they can hear their prey better. Not all owls come out at night. Some come out at dawn and dusk. Small owls eat insects, bugs and mice, and big owls eat rabbits and rats.
Sure.
The most common owl in the UK is the tawny owl, and it goes tweet tweet. Today I'm feeding them mealworms, that's their favourite. Three and a half years old, and they're fully grown, but they're not going to get any bigger than this. I hope you enjoyed meeting Sarah and Percy. That's all from me and the owls. Bye!
That was amazing.
Is that cool? Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
That was cool.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you for sharing that with us, George.
Was that good?
Hopefully lots of people will learn about owls because of the education that you put out there.
Yeah, hopefully. That was your idea, wasn't it?
Here's what I learned. I learned that not all owls go out at night, right? Some at dawn, at dusk. So you taught perfectly because I got the information. And that they eat all different kinds of things, insects, rodents. What else did you say? Insects, rodents. I learned these things.
The heads can fall off if they twist them all the way around.
Owls, there they fall off.
Thank you so much.
And the ears.
Bye.
Bye.
Good boy.
Okay, guys. So we have made our cucumbers fancy. We've chopped them into mini pizzas. Pop them on a little tray.
Wait, what's the popped on tray part?
I put all the pieces of cucumber pizzas on a tray.
Oh.
You don't have to have them on a tray. They can just be in a like somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. Then we need another medium-sized bowl.
Okay, so I looked in the 10 minutes and I don't think they're ready. But if you want to give your tray a shake to kind of distribute the heat evenly.
Okay, I will do that.
We're going to go another 5 minutes at least.
Okay.
Oh, now I'm really full from all that stuff. Ugh.
Okay. So, where are we going next?
Medium bowl.
Okay, so Mike, this is a relatively easy recipe to do. It takes less time. I would say it's in the middle between Theresa's chickpea recipe and the first recipe we started with. So we've got our cucumbers all set up. So now what we're going to do is take our cream cheese and we need 115 grams of that. So I'm just going to grab my cream cheese. Okay, so we're going to mix the cream cheese in with the butter.
In with the butter.
Yep, in with the butter.
Butter.
Butter. Okay.
How much butter was it?
We need 2 tablespoons of butter.
Close enough.
And then you want 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt or sour cream.
I already put that in there. Okay.
And we're just going to pour all of it into a bowl. Okay, and then add in some garlic powder.
One, 2, 3.
Add in some salt to taste. Add in some onion powder if you wish. And then we're just going to give them all a mix. Okay. How's that tasting?
Chirag, sorry, I went away with the battery power issue. There was garlic. Is it salt and pepper? What else was?
Yep, garlic, salt, pepper, and some onion powder if you want.
You know what would be great? I'm gonna free flow here. I'm gonna go rogue on you.
What are you going to put in there?
Worcestershire.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom.
Can I add in some smoked paprika too?
Oh yes. Yes. Brand new jar. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe too much. We'll wait. Okay. Woo! Mine is truly smoky, fresh bottle.
Perfect. Once you're done, that's it. Literally what we're going to do is we're going to spoon it onto the slices of cucumber.
What?
So each piece of cucumber is going to have a spoonful.
Well, Chirag?
Sorry, Mike?
You like spooning as well?
Yeah, why not? It's a very pleasurable activity, and you can see that we've done a lot of it today. So I'm just going to do some spooning right now. How about you, Mike? What's your opinion on spooning?
Well, I don't have the ingredients for this one, so I can't spoon right now.
Okay, but later on?
Well, maybe, yeah. Let's see. The night's early. Night is young.
Have a good cocktail and then a good spoon.
Maybe.
So I saw in your thing that you also had sesame seeds.
Yes,
so I'm gonna sprinkle some.
On the top of this, you can sprinkle bagel seasoning or sesame seeds or anything you like.
This is amazing, but it's sour cream, butter, and cream cheese. So
So the cucumber's very healthy.
Exactly. It's all a balance.
Ooh. That's really good, Chirag. Can I put some lemon in it?
Yeah, lemon works fine. The only thing is the cucumbers can become leaky if you are premature in putting your dressing on because of the salt. So you don't want them to become prematurely leaky. So what you want to do is just when it's time to eat them, you dress them.
You know, you're always very helpful with your information.
I aim to please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a great little dish to whip up. And at least you can feel healthy when you've got cucumber on a dish.
Mm. 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 Mm.
Mike, do you want to open your mouth? How does it taste?
Delicious.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're sitting this one out. This one's beyond my
This one's what?
beyond my culinary skills.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what else?
What?
Some of that jalapeno would be good in here too. I've got some left.
Jalapeno would be amazing.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I need everybody to go check their little tiny bowls.
Okay, let's go check the chickpeas.
Garbanzo beans. Because mine are looking nice and brown.
Okay, all done. How do these look?
Ooh,
Delicious.
yeah. Do they sound kind of hollow?
How do I make the hollow? Do I bang them?
Uh-huh. Give them a good bang.
Okay, I'm just gonna go bang the chickpeas.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute.
No, mine still need a few more minutes. They're a little, yeah, they need more.
I'm banging mine. I think mine are done.
Yeah, mine need more. Not more banging, they need more heat.
Okay, the chickpeas are being banged. Cucumbers are ready.
We are ready. We are ready for a good long movie or something with all of these snacky snacks. So the thing is, Chirag, one of the reasons we're doing snacks, small bites, right? For real, for seriousness, is when we're giving information to our learner, be the human, animal, non-human animal. Small bites. Think of it as giving them a snack that you could do this with. You could just pop it. in one bite.
That's a good point.
Instead of giving them this and this and go, here, eat that and let me know if it was good. So we want to think about training in snacks. And it's easy to say that, but where the snacking starts is with us, because we have the whole steak, right? We've been learning, we know all this information, and then we try to offer that steak to our learner. So depending on your learner, that steak might be fine. Thanks, I'll take that and run. Or it might need to be cut up a little bit. It might need to be minced. It might need to be pureed so that they can take little baby steps. So
What about a milkshake?
say again?
What about turning the steak into a milkshake?
No, don't go that far. No milkshakes.
Okay.
I would walk away from that behavior if I had to turn it into a milkshake.
Okay.
There's some pretty.
Does your milkshake not bring all the boys to the yard?
Let's bring out the boys to the yard. Let's bring out the boys to the yard.
What are you chopping up?
I have decided that we need some more chapaleños to go in the. Oh, I've lost my other camera. To go in the sauce for the cucumbers. So I'm just going crazy today because you're here, right?
Love it. I'm going to sprinkle some cayenne pepper.
Woo! Woo! All right. So, do you have a roundup conversation for us, Mike, about what you have learned here today?
I have learned that to participate in all of your dishes, you need all of the ingredients.
That was my bad antecedent arrangement, because I didn't provide you with all the information you needed. So, yes, so one needs to set the environment up to let the learner succeed.
Well, I'm kind of used to it with you now anyway. So, okay. I think when I was thinking today about the conference where I brought the birds along.
Which was amazing, by the way.
That was a long time ago now, and I didn't have access to the conference room prior to the actual day to even look at it, let alone the birds have a look at it. So it was all done first, make it up as you go on the day for the animals as well. Yeah, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, that's how I've come to know you, really, Chirag, is throw him in at the deep end and see how he gets on.
It's a good, I trust you have all the prerequisite skills and foundation there. So it's almost like once you have that foundation, you can fly.
So in that, we're going to fly right here. We're going to put the toasted garbanzo beans on the sauce, which is on top of the cucumber.
Trying to find the camera.
What do you think?
Tastes amazing.
Now we just need to put it on the avocado.
The avocado.
So we're going to put the avocado paste on here. We're going to put a little salsa on top of the.
Oh, good idea.
Right. So we've done this. Put a little bit of that on top of that. Sprinkle with a couple of garbanzos. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Oh. Oh. Slap your mama, that's good. Oh my, that's it. The combination of all of those is the killer. Okay, that's all I got. I'm gonna toast these up a little more, and this is what hubby's having for dinner.
So time to go enjoy our snacks. Hopefully
Yes.
everyone who's been watching, sorry for the techie issues if you've had techie issues. Someone's on Facebook like, watch out, there's someone behind you. There's amazing. We've got one final video, guys, to see you out. I thought you might like to see Mike with his eagle doing some work. So Mike has just popped back in. Let's see if we can say bye to Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, it keeps cutting in and out.
Oh, no, it's great. We're just saying thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your wisdom and having some last minute fun with us as well.
Ooh, frozen again.
So let's just go to our video of Mike working with an eagle following a car and watching some of the training there. Great way to provide exercise, mental stimulation, fun, and we'll see you guys at the next episode.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.